Hey, what's up, guys? This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the absolute craziness that was Bitcoin today and Bitcoin's price action, okay? We saw a huge move up on some potentially interesting news that was later found to be false. But before we get to that, be sure to subscribe, be sure to hit that like button, and be sure to share this video. I definitely appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for your time. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. So Bitcoin today is up about 4%. In fact, it was up even higher before that, but it basically finished the last 24 hours at about 4%. If we take a look at our Bitcoin chart TA, there's a lot going on here, okay? So just take a look at today, all right? So today, Bitcoin shot all the way up to almost 30K. It was about 29,800. We saw it go through multiple levels of resistance here at 27,200, at about 28K as well, and then just come up here and just almost kiss this 30K level. Now you'll notice I have the liquidity level here in green, and this liquidity, as I'll show you guys in a little bit, was completely taken out and Bitcoin squeezed higher, okay? If you take a look at the massive volume candle we have here for today, we can see that about 4,700 Bitcoin traded hands in a single day. This is a crazy high volume, and if you actually go back out and look at the last time we saw a green day for this level, it was back in June at about the same amount of volume that we've had today. But it's just an absolutely crazy move today. And the reason why Bitcoin moved so strongly today was because of a report that Cointelegraph put out, okay? Cointelegraph dropped a tweet. They later deleted it, but they dropped a tweet that said that the SEC had approved BlackRock's spot ETF. Okay, so Bitcoin rallied on that news, just shot up massively. If we go ahead and take a look at the hourly, we can actually see this insane hourly candle with this massive wick here to the upside that went all the way to 30K. Now, it was later found out that this information was false, and Cointelegraph basically announced an investigation, and they apologized for it and all that, which honestly, this is less to do about that story, and I think more to do about the market's reaction to the news of a potential Bitcoin spot ETF being approved. All right, so putting the news aside and the fact that journalistic integrity was compromised, just look at this move here. The massive amount of volume that we saw today. Again, just go ahead and take a look at this massive volume candle today, just on the faintest hint of a possible Bitcoin spot ETF being approved, is amazing. I mean, just look at this. This price action was insane, and it led to a huge short squeeze, which drove up the price almost up to that resistance point at about 30K. Now, I've talked multiple times on this channel about what it would mean for Bitcoin to have the approval of a Bitcoin spot ETF, and I've said multiple times that I do expect a spot ETF to happen sometime in the next 2 or 3 years. Maybe we'll have to wind up seeing about the SEC, and maybe eventually they have a change in people at the SEC. Gary Gensler finally gets ousted or something like that. We wind up seeing a Bitcoin spot ETF, and the market is going to go absolutely ballistic with this information, not only because of the kind of hype that it generates, but also the demand that it generates when you have people who can finally buy something Bitcoin related on traditional brokerages, on traditional finance that's linked to Bitcoin, and then as a result, the ETF owner has to go and buy Bitcoin. So that being said, my primary takeaway from this is there is a massive amount of underlying demand for Bitcoin, and we will see something like this in the future when it actually gets approved, this spot ETF. Now, as for the current price action, it's very important to point out the fact that we're very close here to being overbought. Now, Bitcoin's at about 62 or so on the RSI on the daily, so we do have a little bit more room left to run, but that being said, I think that we saw a significant move to the upside, and I wouldn't be surprised if we did pull back. But if we pull back, look for that 28K level to hold, and then if that doesn't hold, we might actually come back here to 27,300. Now, again, I want to go ahead and dissect this move upward. So we go ahead and go and look at our futures contracts. We can actually see here in the futures market this basically what happened here, and that is during that time in which Cointelegraph released that tweet, we saw massive number of liquidations for Bitcoin in a single hour. $52 million worth of Bitcoin shorts were liquidated, and the price squeezed even higher. We saw the market flip from mostly bearish here to all bullish, and we saw a huge move down in the open interest. So as these shorts were liquidated, that means you have less open contracts and thus a lower open interest. But if we go ahead and take a look at the totality of the liquidations, we can find that over the last 24 hours for all of crypto was $136 million worth of short liquidations. All right, this is absolutely huge. This is the largest amount of short liquidations in the crypto market that we've seen since the 16th of August, this massive fluctuation. Now, this has kind of gotten rid of a lot of this short liquidity. And if we go ahead and take a look at our heat map, we can actually see that the liquidity right now has basically dried up all the way up. There's like nothing up here right now. So there's not, I think that the risk is actually kind of more towards the downside, where we have significant liquidity below that level, like at about 27,700, and below that at about maybe 27,400. So while I like this move up, and I do think it is bullish in the short term, I think there is more downside risk. If you take a look at the liquidity levels, it's telling us there is more downside risk coming for Bitcoin potentially. And the fact that most of these shorts got squeezed, that means they're not around to get squeezed and propel the price even higher. Now, one other important thing is happening this week, and that is going to be Tesla's earnings. Tesla's earnings are going to be scheduled for October 18th. Okay, and so in a couple of days, we're going to see whether or not what Tesla's their earnings are, and whether or not they sold any of their Bitcoin holdings, because that could potentially affect the Bitcoin price. All right, so this is the one thing I'll be watching out for later on this week to see if that actually affects the Bitcoin price. All right, so just wanted to put together a quick video for you guys summarizing what happened and my thoughts on the market. Let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know if you think this is just going to continue. We're going to push higher and we're actually going to break that 30K region, or if you think that we're due for a pullback in the near term. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and I hope to catch you guys in the next video.